My name is Philip Kostowitz, and we're a family of three. I've got my wife Bethany and our son Kyle, and we're expecting another baby girl in July.
Kyle is an old soul. He's always been very bright, and he can communicate very well. And that was from the moment he was born. You could see everything he was thinking on his face, and he could tell you what he wanted and what he needed instantaneously.
Kyle is a great kid. He's very smart. He enjoys sea creatures, sharks especially. He loves going to the beach and fishing. That's his favorite thing to do. He enjoys reading and playing with Legos. Those are two of his most favorite things right now in the colder weather when we can't go fishing.
I first noticed that Kyle was getting sick because he was getting strange fevers in the middle of the night, but then he'd wake up and they would be gone. He would have night sweats, and he would complain of bone pain. So we decided to take him into the pediatrician, and that's when they ran lab work that gave some pretty scary results and ultimately put us in the oncology office for his initial diagnosis of leukemia.
When we first learned that Kyle had leukemia, it was devastating. Our whole world was turned upside down. Immediately, everything that was important to us was not anymore. The only thing that was important was getting him better.
And I remember pulling Philip into our bedroom and sobbing and saying to him, "Please tell me this isn't real. Please tell me our baby doesn't have leukemia." And he couldn't.
Today, Kyle is doing great. He is learning to play basketball. He's running around outside quite a bit, and that's just, it feels good to see that after all that he's been through, because we've been through some very terrible lows.
I have this tattoo that I got a few days before his 1-year diagnosis anniversary. That tattoo is to represent his journey that year. It has his diagnosis date. It has the mountains, because he has overcome mountains, but also because in that time, the heaviest of his treatment, he would ask to go to the mountains. He would just say, "Mom, today I need to go see God. Can we go to the mountains?" Kyle is currently in what is considered the long-term maintenance phase of his treatment, phase 3, and he is doing so well. We're so proud of him. He gets chemotherapy still about once a month, and he will continue with that regimen until December of 2020.
When I finally find out that he's cured, it will be the best day of my life, because it's been such a difficult journey. And just to have that news and to know that he can go back to the way things, maybe not exactly the way they were, but go back to being a regular kid and not having to worry about a port or going to get medications every month. I'd just be the best day of my life. It'd be exhilarating.
Stephen and I moved here almost 4 years ago now, and we relocated for his job. He's an air traffic controller, and we have 2 little girls. I used to be a journalist, and we were both in the National Guard, but after Natalie was diagnosed, I quit those jobs, which was difficult to leave the military. I really loved it, but taking care of her is more important. So we became a stay-at-home mom with both my girls.
Natalie's just she's amazing. So, I mean, she's a 5-year-old, loves princess, all girl. I mean, every bit of her is just all girl.
Natalie had no signs when she was diagnosed with cancer. I took her for her yearly checkup, and the doctor found an abnormality with her iron levels. So he asked us to bring her back, and he found the cancer, and it was very shocking to us. We had just lost my father-in-law and my grandmother to cancer, both within a few months of Natalie's diagnosis. So a third cancer diagnosis was a huge surprise for us all, but everyone rallied together and we did what had to be done.
You know, I lost my dad in June of that year, and then Natalie was diagnosed in August, so I didn't really have time to process, you know, what had just happened to my dad. It was on to the next fight, but it was definitely the hardest year of my life.
We had just found out that I was pregnant with Caroline a month prior to the diagnosis, but it was a really good thing to be pregnant during treatment. It gave us all something to be excited about and look forward to, and Natalie got to prepare things for the baby. And when the baby came, she grew up in clinic, just as we all were there constantly, and that's the life she knows.
I mean, you kind of get used to it. It's kind of the same thing over and over and over. You know, her getting put to sleep, that's never easy. It's always, it brought a tear to my eye every single time. You know, they put her down, we call them naps. But she just took it in stride. I mean, she knew what was coming and just knew she had to do it.
Natalie finished chemo treatment in early November, which was a few days before her 5th birthday, and it was amazing. We got to celebrate a big birthday and the end of something really huge in her life at the same time, and she's able to run and play and do everything that she wants to now. So she's doing piano, starting dance, just so many things to look forward to for the future.
She did it. It was all her. Oh, I'm the proudest dad you could ever be. I mean, she's a fighter.
I think the cancer diagnosis has actually brought a lot of positive things. To Natalie, she's learned patience, she's learned forbearance, she's learned that bad things do get better. She's learned empathy, a lot of things that young children don't have the opportunity to learn, and she's gotten to experience those things. She sits at clinic for hours and doesn't complain or has to go home. And it's not that other children can't do those things, it's that they're not exposed to the necessary elements to really learn those lessons that she's gotten to learn. She's seen everyone rally around and love on her and take care of her. And she has a very, very empathetic heart now. She's always giving gifts and trying to take care of others. I feel like a large part of that is due to the treatment she received. So a lot of the cancer outcomes have been wonderful for her and for us.
I would say I learned from Natalie that the small things in life are what matters. You know, it's not that I just missed a football game. It's, you know, my kid's battling a cancer. And I just learned to appreciate the small things in life.